One morning, a girl named Nishino Akane wakes up when her alarm goes off. She takes a shower and checks herself in the mirror. She thinks she looks nice. Then she gets ready for school. But when she opens the door, she sees people taking her pictures. Her driver helps her and takes her to school. At school, most students greet her warmly. However, she notices a boy named Kajino, whom she doesn't really like. She thinks he's not special and not good at schoolwork. But something interesting happens. She says hi to him and he replies, but he calls her the wrong name, Nishimura. She doesn't like that name, but she hides her feelings and smiles. She tells Kajino that her name is not Nishimura. He apologizes and explains that he's good at remembering important names but not so good with others. He also says he didn't sleep much and accidentally calls her Nish Shitani, which upsets her. She corrects him and tells him her real name. But as Kajino leaves, he makes the same mistake again and calls her Nishimura. This makes her very mad. While she watches him walk away, Akane realizes that her anger isn't just because he got her name wrong. It's because he never really looks at her, even though he's facing her direction. It's like he's looking at something far away. In class, Akane gets a lot of attention, but she avoids talking to Kajino because he acts strangely. Akane had a problem when she was in middle school that made her stop being famous for a while. Since then, she's been hiding who she really is. She tries hard to be the teacher's favorite and the most popular girl at school so that everyone will like her. She doesn't want anyone to dislike her. Kajino reads a weird book and tries to learn from it to become stronger. After school, Akane calls her driver to pick her up, but he doesn't come because some bad people attacked him. She waits for a long time, but no one comes, so she has to walk home alone at night. This is the first time she's done since the problem in middle school. While she's walking, the same bad people who attacked her driver also attack her. She tries to run away, but they catch her quickly and take her away. She starts feeling sleepy because they gave her something to make her feel that way. Just when she's about to pass out, she sees Kajino coming toward her. She becomes a bit more aware and realizes that she's tied up in a warehouse. One of the people who kidnapped her tells her that because she's the daughter of Nishino Zabatsu, she shouldn't walk alone at night. He says her father has many enemies. While he's talking, another person with him tells her to be quiet and wait. They say she'll be released once they get money from her family. This leads to an argument among the kidnappers. At the same time, Kajino observes one of the kidnappers closely. Then he changes his clothes and wears a mask. After a while, one of the kidnappers tries to harm Akane. He brings up the memory of when she was first kidnapped by a stalker, which makes her recall the sad events from that time. She attempts to resist, but he hits her and prepares to hurt her. Suddenly, Kajino bursts through the window in a cool way, showing that he's a skilled fighter who takes on bad people. The kidnappers become angry, and one of them reaches for a gun. However, Kajino fights back using a piece of glass. He injures the man's arm, causing him to drop the gun. Then he confronts the thug, delivering a strong blow that knocks him down. The other kidnapper realizes that Kajino is not an ordinary person. He mentions being tired of his life as a kidnapper and reveals his past in the army. He puts down his gun and switches to a knife to face Kajino. Kajino is excited to challenge someone with military experience. As they fight, Kajino gets a cut on his arm, but he manages to disarm the kidnapper using a crowbar. Despite the difficulty, Kajino decides to get serious. He wants to demonstrate his skill with crowbars, something he learned from dealing with bikers who cause trouble in the city. Kajino turns the tide of the fight and uses the crowbar to defeat the kidnapper. The thug realizes that Kajino is known as the Balaclava Berserker, someone who fought against bikers using crowbars. Kajino explains that he changed his tactics when the bikers started wearing helmets, switching from using crowbars like tonfa sticks to using regular clubs. He goes on to attack the criminal, breaking the criminal's leg and delivering a harsh beating. Akane watches this with fear. unaware that Kajino is the one who saved her. After dealing with the criminal, Kajino advises Akane to be more cautious in the future. She doesn't realize Kajino's true identity as her savior. Soon after, she contacts the police, and her father's connections prevent the case from becoming public. The following morning at school, Akane spots Kajino and smiles at him. He greets her, addressing her as Nishino. She tries to correct him, unaware that he got her name right this time. Akane is surprised that Kajino seems to be genuinely looking at her now. She realizes that he's leading a hidden life, similar to her own. However, the next day, the news reports that Minoru Kajino was fatally hit by a truck. In the past, Kajino had always dreamed of becoming a hero and practiced tirelessly. But at school, he remained in the background, unnoticed. Even though he became skilled at fighting, he felt helpless when faced with opponents wielding weapons. Determined to be the world's best martial artist, he aimed to defeat armed individuals. Despite his intense training, he couldn't overcome certain limits or gain superpowers. Kajino yearned to shatter those boundaries and create a safer world, relying solely on his personal strength. Following the accident that claimed his life, Kajino finds himself reborn in a new world. He gathers a group of like-minded individuals and establishes an organization with them. Equipped with magical abilities, Kajino and his team prepare for a mission. Their goal is to work in the shadows, showcasing their skills both discreetly and powerfully, ensuring safety without the need for special powers. Despite his desire for greater strength in the future, Sid begins by working with his current abilities. Later, Alpha provides a report to Sid, which is his new name. She verifies the truth of his statements and shares details about the cult of Diabolos, a group she had uncovered years ago. After dying in a car accident, Minoru Kajino is reborn as the son of Baron Kajino, an aristocrat living in a distant area. Even though he's young, Kajino quickly adjusts to this new world and senses the presence of magic in the surroundings. In his new family, the Kajinos, there's a tradition of creating dark knights who can use magic to boost their abilities. They have high hopes for Claire, Kajino's talented older sister. Sid grows up as an ordinary person, intentionally avoiding standing out during the day. But at night, he becomes active. He battles bandits using a sword crafted from slime and wears a special suit. He effortlessly defeats the bandits and takes their belongings. During one night, he stumbles upon a cage holding a decaying creature. Recognizing its magical potential, he brings it home and conducts magical experiments and tests to better understand it. His goal is to control the excess magic emanating from the creature. After dedicating a month of effort, Sid successfully gains control over the overwhelming magic, restoring the creature to its normal state. It turns out that the creature is a young elf woman. Sid wants to impress her and invite her to join his team, so he decides to change his approach. When she wakes up, he tells her that he broke the curse affecting her and her ancestors. He shows her a fictional book about 3 heroes who defeated a demon named Diabolos. This demon had cursed those heroes before dying. Sid also reveals that a plan by the Diabolos cult to resurrect the demon is in motion, even though most people have forgotten about Diabolos. Introducing himself as Shadow, someone who fights darkness from the shadows to stop the cult from bringing back their master. Sid asks if she'd like to be a part of his cause. She agrees to join him, as she's lost a lot and wants to bring positive change. However, she mentions that they need to find more descendants of those heroes like her and expand their group. Sid agrees, and he names their group Shadow Garden. 3 years pass, and Sid, now 13 years old, practices with his sister Claire, purposefully letting her win despite his greater strength. Claire, now 15 years old, is at the age when nobles begin attending Midgar Academy for Dark Knights. However, on the day Claire is supposed to leave for school, she mysteriously disappears, and her room is left in chaos.